Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Things Heard and Seen. This is a new Netflix film that is a mix of mystery and horror and thriller and crime and thriller and just feels like a lot thrown in here, and domestic drama. And this film is directed by Sherry Springer Berman and Robert Polcini. And the film centers on this couple, Amanda Seyfried and James Norton, who move into this country home, and has a job as a professor at the university, and their marriage has some complications. And to be honest, the real center of this film are those complications, because it feels like we have a supernatural, like Gothic horror, and like an intense human drama with this marriage falling apart. This never really works. And I feel like this story could have been told without any of it. Like obviously making some adjustments to certain things, but really didn't need to be there. It turns into this crime mystery, but it really focuses well on the tensions between Seyfried and Norton, which both of them give strong performances and portray these things as she deals with anorexia. He is a liar. He's been involved in sexual claims by students before, and he starts up this relationship with everybody's favorite big sister, Natalia Dyer, who plays Willis, who is from Stranger Things. And I'm a huge fan of her, so I appreciated her being in here. But like, besides the point of like he needed to have an affair with somebody, I don't really feel like she was super necessary in this. And you have all these different pieces, and some of these supporting characters who are strong actors don't get a whole lot to do. But you do have two supporting performances that I feel like really stand out here. You have F. Murray Abraham, who I'm a huge fan of. He plays the chair and mentor to James Norton's character, and he has a wonderfully acted moment with Amanda Seyfried. There's a lot of poignancy there, and that's where, honestly, the whole supernatural stuff feels the most earned. But in general, it just feels like a distraction away from the main focus of the story, and it never really feels importantly ingrained into the story. But there's that one moment that builds a connection between them, and it's really wonderful. And then, honestly, my favorite performance in the film is 100% from Rhea Seehorn, who's from Better Call Saul. And she is great. I really appreciate her performance in here. She's a no-nonsense kind of professor who's a colleague to Norton, and she's the one who starts like noticing some of the weird things that Norton's doing and picking up on things, and she's great. And if this film really just focused on being this drama and have some crime and that kinds of tension, I feel like it would have melted together more and felt like more of a whole. But it feels like all these supernatural Gothic kind of things kind of are a distraction. And the design of the ghosts are kind of silly. At least to me, they felt weird and just out there, but it was going for like this classic Gothic kind of look. The atmosphere and the environments, the production design really work. And they're definitely able to create this Gothic feel, except there's some really jarring and obnoxious camera work decisions that are made in the film that kind of took me out of it. So it was a bit of a mixed bag in that way. Overall, I think the film's a bit of a mixed bag, and by the end, where the film was going and where it winds up, I didn't feel super connected with these two leads. And by the end, I didn't care as much. I cared so much more about some of these supporting characters and the effects that this main story had on them, but you have this drama with all kinds of twists and turns that really would have worked better if it just focused on that instead of occasionally getting us distracted with things turning on by themselves. That radio's not plugged in, how's it playing? There's a nightlight, it explodes. Where'd all that electricity come from? Basically, this ghost is like the Thor of ghosts, I guess. Maybe you need Cord to come off and say, piss off, ghost. But besides the point, you have this story that feels like it's trying to do two things and really half-assed one of them, and it never felt like it was really meaningful or really needed to be there. So in the end, it succeeds relatively well as a human drama and kind of fails at this Gothic horror because, like, honestly, I was never really scared watching the film, and I'm a big baby. I get scared really easily watching movies. So there's your benchmark for this one. But in general, I think this is a bit of a misfire. It's 2 hours too, and it felt like this could have moved along a little bit better. But in the end, I feel like Things Heard and Seen is a bit of a miss. Wouldn't necessarily say you gotta go check this out, but if you want to watch like a weird, creepy kind of thriller, and you have 2 hours to spare, and you have Netflix, it's right there. But those are my thoughts on Things Heard and Seen. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.